Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Good morning, sim racing fans, and welcome back to Sim Racing World TV. Today, instead of tonight, we bring to you the Simrings V8 Supercars AM Series. This is round one of Season 4 here in 2023. And tonight we come straight from Zandvoort. I am Nathan ShiBBy Howard, back in the comms box with my mate Thomas Preach Riley. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ShiBBy. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be here. I will tell you now, I have sequestered myself from the replay, so I have no idea what's going to happen. So this is going to be purely authentic. And I also haven't raced Zandvoort ever in iRacing, but I did buy it so I could do commentary today. This new scan is absolutely wonderful. It's super detailed. It's got all the new banking and everything. One of the most cried out for things from a lot of drivers out there on the iRacing platform. 4.2 kilometre circuit. This one right on the beach in Holland. Some great corners in there. Tarzanbock in the first as the first corner. Slightly banked now. You're seeing some of the last corner shots there. So expect high speeds, lots and lots of exciting action tonight. I'm very much looking forward to getting back into the Supercars AM series. I feel like it's been way too long since we were last racing.
Yeah, it has been a while, mate. Bit of a break there for a couple of weeks while we got ready for the new season, mate. GOG has the turnout of drivers been absolutely phenomenal already. If you guys haven't already caught round 1 and round 2 of the Formula 3 and of course the Supercars Pro-Am series, as well as our new series, the IMSA Shadow series, they are all live on YouTube for your viewing pleasure, mate. But I tell you what, it feels great to be back in the comms box. I am absolutely pumped. We have 40 cars, or 41 cars, out on track that we hopefully will see some great smooth driving. But we do see Joe in the comms there saying, get the popcorn ready. And Petar Pavlovich saying, I hope they don't show me hitting the wall. Well, mate, now you've brought it up. You have brought that upon yourself to make sure I keep an eye on when you hit the wall. So, well done, mate, and that should go well with our highlights. But as you were saying, mate, Zandvoort, it just got rescanned by iRacing, did it?
Yeah, so they released it as part of the Season 4 update, the rescan. So it used to be the old flat layout, which was not the most fun, whereas now with all the banking that they've added, obviously Zandvoort was updated pre-COVID. It was brought up to FIA Grade 1 status so they could host the Formula 1 there. And now it's an absolutely wonderful track. Of course, we haven't quite had the diversity of results in F1 here. It's been one name and winning at his home track in Max Verstappen. But if tonight's race is anything to go by from the last Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago here, it will have everything going on for sure. So we're just over halfway through this qualifying session now as we join the session. Joe Marnie at the moment sitting on top with a 34.5. Just waiting for my live timing to update to reflect that properly.
Joe Marnie, 34.58. Peter Vanderkran with a 34.76. Liam Tipping not far off either with a 134.82. Sean Smith, 134.91. Troy Dooley, 34.95. Stephen Kennedy, 34.97. DeGoey, 35 flat. Jamie Davis, 35.03. So, wow, there is absolutely nothing between this top 10. Michael Quain with a 35.10. Andrew Cowan, 35.13. Crosby, 35.24. DeBono, 35.27. This is going to be a very tight series. I can see it now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be everything's going to be left on the table. We've got a couple of new names dropping themselves in for this season as well. So I'm expecting some pace out there. Liam Tipping has jumped from the Holden to the Mustang, and we'll definitely be looking to carry on the form that he had. I still remember his Nürburgring debut back in season 2 now, where he clean swept the night, just come out of nowhere in a race on Oscar and Showed exactly what he's up against. Just passes his teammate there on track in Joe Marnie. And then proceeds to go off track. So either that's not a good start or good finish to the lap. We might try and get a bit of a onboard lap here if we can, Shibby.
Who do you want to go with, Liam?
He's out there.
Oh, Liam's coming.
Well, no, he's in the pit lane, but someone coming up the main straight would be good.
Yeah.
Who's in 17?
Number 17 is Troy Sipple.
So Troy Sipple here, just coming into turn 4. This banked corner, multiple lines he can take through here. We saw Fernando Alonso make a great overtake by cutting low on like lap 1 or lap 2 of the race in Formula 1 this season. But a lot of drivers will go high on the run up the hill here, up to this very fast right-hander. Few cars have gone off there. It'd be difficult to control your car speed coming into that corner with a blind apex, blind turning point. Third gear, just controlling the wheel spin off the corner. Into turn 10 now. Gets the car tucked in nice. There's a fair bit of space that you can run out to, but it's not a huge amount of space off the track. But the corner is quite wide on exit. Through this stadium section now. Climb over the curbs, get it to rotate, and tuck it back into the camber. And come back out, watch the wheel spin on the exit there as well. Coming up to the second to last corner now. Want to tuck the car in nice and tight, and then get on the power as early as you can. Use that banking now through the last corner. Just control a little bit of rear slide. Come up to the line, and Troy Sipple bangs in a 35.8.
Bad lap for Sipple, but a lot of cars still ahead of him with only 13 minutes left to go in this qualifying. But you can just see there's not even a second between the top 20 at the moment.
No, it's such a tight field that it'll be very, very good racing tonight. And I hope this is a good setup for the rest of the season. Got a bit of a livery change on these Quantum Pecky's performance cars.
Yeah.
They're looking very bright and splendid indeed. And the piston on the back, adding a little bit of colour. You just see a lock up there from Martin just as he goes to turn into the corner.
We're all doing well on this beautiful Thursday morning. We're giving you something to actually have a watch of while you're at work. So make sure you got those phones out and just sitting to the side so your bosses don't see them, or get your cap ready just to quickly throw it over the top of your phone when your boss comes in. So huge shout out to everybody who's joining us today during the day, and of course anybody who comes back and watches the replay later. Tom and I will be doing round 1 tonight of the AMs, and then we'll be taking a short break after this broadcast, and we'll be coming straight back to you with round 2. 1.5 minutes left to go of round 1 qualifying, with Joe Marnie for the JTIT Race on Oz team holding a pretty solid lead right now. It is going to be interesting with this many cars taking off on the grid, how they all tackle turn 1. You can see maybe a little bit of incidents happening, same as Tom. I did not watch any of the replay. We want to bring this to you live so our reactions are exactly as they would be.
I think the big thing that we've got to keep in mind, Shibby, is that turn 1 normally isn't all the carnage. It's normally turn 3 where the track tightens up quite substantially before you get down into turn 4 into that banked Hugenholz. So I think we'll be keeping our eyes on the right-hander at turn 3 for where all the action will be. Not a whole lot of space either on the runoff. So if you're out there, you'd be hoping that the new grass physics, which we haven't spoken about, the new grass physics makes for some interesting off-track excursions. Easier to save, but I have seen cars roll.
Also, didn't it ruin the Bathurst jump because of the new grass physics?
It did also ruin the Bathurst jump.
Oh, mate, that's upsetting. Bring back V8 Supercars, the original on PlayStation 1, eh? That was on PS2, sorry.
Well, I mean, wasn't Season 3 of iRacing or prior, all the same. Just take the jump every time.
Yeah, why not? It's there
quicker.
for a reason.
It's quicker.
And it's a lot of fun.
Not safer, but...
All right, that is the end of our racecraft qualifying session. And as you can see through our sponsorship logos in the right-hand side, we have actually picked up a few new sponsorships. I'd love to give a huge shout out and a return back to our sponsorship table, DSL Rail Services, formerly known as DSL Welding. So huge shout out to the team there for coming back on board and helping support SRW. We also have another new one on there, and I have the information for it. Which is...
Whilst you're finding that, Peter Vanderkraan just jumped up into third. He's 2 thousandths behind Darren Crosby.
Wow.
Now, if that won't piss you off as a driver to miss out by 2 thousandths, I don't know what will. Joe Marnie does take home the racecraft pole tonight off today for round 1 here at Zandvoort. Darren Crosby will line up alongside him. Peter Vanderkraan in P3, Liam Tipping making it 2 race on Ozcars in the top 4. Sean Nizazka, Troy Dooley, Stephen Kennedy, Reese DeGoey, Jamie Davis, and Michael Quain round out the top 10. Andrew Cowan, a good qualifying performance there into 11th. Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Sport. Watch him tonight. He'll be he's a quick driver with a very, very quick team. So I'm sure he'll be looking to surge his way from 12th. Travis Daly in 13 and Lorne McKee in 14. Ty Byrne, Scotty Van Loon, John Gallen, Mitchell Muller, Petar Pavlovich, and Mark Houghton. Was it Houghton or Horton? I can't remember. Horton.
Horton, here's a who.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah. That was a bloody good qualifying session with these AMs being so close to each other. There's just nothing between the top 20. So this is going to either be a super close race, or we're going to possibly see a fair few incidents across the start of this race while the cars all sort of settle in. As we mentioned, there's a few new names that have jumped into our AM series. So as the drivers get to know each other's driving style and work around each other, we could see a few little incidents, but we are hoping for a solid race. So the other new sponsorship we have on board is a non-for-profit company called Neuropower, where they help individuals with neurological conditions with many things, including equipment, paying bills, and whatever else it may be to help them get through their normal daily life. They also have a couple of cars where they attend track days and get people with these said conditions into the cars to put a smile on their dial and show them that they can still live life a normal way. So huge shout out to Neuropower. Go and check them out and help support them like you guys support us, as we are just about getting ready to go racing. Joe Marnie now loaded onto the grid. We are going to follow the pole position setter as this race gets live. Look at that lineup, nearly all the way back to that banked corner. Leaky is sitting just off the edge of it there. Sean Rigby, this is not a race, mate. This is a replay file of last week, mate. So we are bringing the live broadcast to you as we weren't able to do it last week. So we have got a hold of the replay file, and we will be doing round 1 and round 2 today, so everybody does still get to see this awesome race.
Here we go, ShiBBy. Season 4 is going to kick off with a bang here. The revs rise. We get ready for a green light, and they're away. Joe Marnie gets a great start. Darren Crosby doesn't quite get. Oh, there's a bit of chaos. It's M1 cars into each other on the front straight. We got 3 cars involved. Hopefully there's not more. Oh, dearie me.
Jamie Davis just chimes in. Skip the start. Too late, mate. It's already happened. It has already happened.
Didn't even get through turn 1.
Yeah, don't think we need
Well, I
a
said-
replay of that right now.
I don't think we do. I think we saw all that live. Just for your heads up, all chat, we're going to hold off on doing replays. It just stuffs around with the replay file and everything. So we'll try and get incidents as they happen, or as at least the end of them. But yeah, that was chaos off the start. That was two M1 Racing cars, a couple of
like they clipped
Pecky's
each other.
cars. Yeah, clipped each other. I think Crosby was just getting a bucket load of wheel spin and couldn't quite grab the car, get any grip, and unfortunately was involved. I got tripped up over his teammate. So that's certainly not the way the M1 cars wanted to start. We do have a safety car here to deal with it.
It happens. A lot of these guys, and you know, I'm sure the drivers can correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of these guys may have come from other leagues where the grids aren't as large, or racing in the officials where, you know, I've seen the officials sort of jump and climb with different numbers where there might only be 10 to 15 people in there. So coming onto a grid with 40 other drivers is definitely probably something new for a lot of these drivers here.
I think that one though, you could have had a grid of 20, or you could have had a grid of 40, and I think that kind of incident can still happen. Just sometimes, I mean, these cars are incredibly hard to start at the best of times. So, especially heading into an hour-long race, there'll be a decent amount of fuel. So, yeah, it's unfortunate for all of these drivers that that happened tonight. Off the start today. Off the start. Tyson McAvoy driving around now in the promo department safety car, picking up the leader of Joe Marnie. Some cars have not quite made it all the way back around to pits. Stephen Kennedy, one of them, who I think he's got a fair bit of, just a little bit of damage to that Mustang of his. Some other drivers teleporting the pits as well, and Scott Perrins, Brendan Van Ryn, and Mick Clifton for Accelerate Sim Racing. So not the ideal start. Peter Vanderkraan, though, making it 2 Angry Bird Racing cars out there. I think we got.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Is
so
Rick Bigger out there?
Yeah, he is a new name, and he is sitting in an Angry Birds Racing team car. So good to see. I love seeing every new season. Like, we start off with like one driver from a certain team, and then it feels like next season they just start multiplying.
Michael Quain is the next new name that I don't quite recognise. Old Mate and Sons in the 57 Mustang there.
In my information, it has him down as an Islander, as in Irish.
Oh,
Yeah, Old Mate and Sons. Makes a little bit of sense there, but yeah, it has him down as his region is Ireland. Whether he's an Irish Australian or Irish Kiwi, I don't actually know. So hopefully,
SRW is expanding.
yeah,
How good's that?
doing awesome, growing and
A
growing.
name that, a name that we haven't seen for a little while. Dylan DeBono. I think he's been racing some other series around the place for Velocity Sim Sport. Sitting there in P6 at the moment.
Yeah, DeBono, young driver, races real life racing. Absolutely killed it in the 86 and the TCR series when we ran that. Just super, super quick. It seems that anything he gets into, it really doesn't take him long to master it. And I feel like he'll be one of those ones, because this will be his first full season in the V8s for a very long time. He'll be definitely one to watch through as this season continues.
Yeah, Excel racer in the X3 series in New South Wales. I've just brought up his Facebook here. Yeah, I dare say he's a quick driver at Sydney Motorsport Park at the end of August. He was equally P2 and then had 2 podium finishes in race 1 and race 2 in that real life series. So very, very quick driver in the XLs, it turns out. in the New South Wales State Series. Who else have we got? What's some other new names that we've got?
Jim Caparonis. So it turns out old mate and sons have got Michael Quain and Jim Caparonis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's the way I'm going to say it until someone corrects me. Joe Marnie learned that out the hard way. He was called Mahoney for nearly 2 seasons. So, so yeah, 2 old mate and sons drivers out there. So Jim and both Michael are new to the series.
Matt Whitaker from Fishy Motorsports coming and jumping, getting back into the AM series, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, give I don't know if little junior fish, Mr. Ty Delaney, is racing in the AMs. I think he's just sticking with the Pro-Ams right now. I feel like that's where Ty Delaney needs to be anyway, racing up there, using the faster guys to help craft his skill, and he is just going to absolutely blitz this series again. The young 14-year-old put on a phenomenal show last season, so I look forward to Sunday night actually to find out how he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of other new names out there. Marty Mitchell's one of them for MX Raps Limit Bashes. So we've seen MX Raps out there in some other series in the past. So it's good to see them coming back.
That was 1-9 MX Raps, though. Is MX
yeah,
Raps
I think
Limit
it was.
Bashes a different team?
Maybe it's the subsidiary team or something like that. Who else have we got? Dan Mirko in the 37 Mustang. Another race on Oscar.
Yeah, good to see.
So, couple of drivers there. Ty Byrne in behind as well. Is that another M1 car?
It says privateer on my screen, but
it looks like an M1 on the side of it.
M1 Racing, it sure
There
is.
you go.
The M1 team here out of local Queensland starting to grow in drivers as well.
I mean, when you've got a championship in the ranks, a champion in the ranks, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you want to be out there. Now, I wonder, are we getting a green flag this time by, do you think?
Tyson has entered the pits, so it has been handed over to Joe Marnie for the restart. And he is gone. Didn't even wait for that banking. Put his foot down and off he goes.
Drivers can't overtake before the control line, the start-finish line, so drivers tucking out to maybe try and get a nose up the inside. That pile through turn 1. Turn 3 now for Joe. He's got his teammate behind him, so he knows there's no real threat. He can just try and get himself moving nicely. We saw Andrew Cowan dive for a move there on Lorne McKee down the inside at turn 4. Hugenholtz on a run up and down the hill now. Lots of elevation change through this section of the track. A couple of diverging layouts as well.
This is going to be a very close race. I suppose I better put the intervals up for everybody out there watching, just to see how close these AMs really do race. And had someone drop in and said, that man has a sexy voice. Welcome in Valley and Rocket. That is the band that is responsible for most of the music you hear on our broadcast. A good friend of mine all the way from America. Thanks for joining us today, mate.
This midday or this morning stream is definitely getting all the viewers out there, isn't it?
I did post in a few of my Discord servers where I know I've got a lot of American followers from my Twitch, so they do try and drop in. It's actually great numbers this morning. I hope you're either all working hard or not working at all and enjoying it here as we see Marty Hansen fighting with Dan Micro. A bit of a slide there. It's like Dan
knows that he just got the nose up the inside and just unfortunately might not have been up far enough. A little bit of contact at just after the apex, so I think he probably went to stump Martin to try and redress, but we're going to go 3 wide down into turn 1. Everyone gets through there just cleanly enough. We're still battling with other drivers through here.
What a field of drivers. I got to relearn all the new drivers and new liveries as well.
We all do, mate. There's a lot of new drivers out there, a lot of new paints coming along. Just looking from the nose of Sean Nazazka there as Jamie Davis ducks up the inside.
Right, let's move back up the front of the field. This is a battle for P30 at the moment. Our closest battle up the top. Marnie at the moment just absolutely starting to pull away from his teammate. Liam Tipping, I dare say, will try and play blocker right now and try and keep Peter van der Kraan as far behind Joe as possible. So Peter will be here. Troy Dooley catching up onto the back of him. Dylan DeBono as well with that weight-reducted ZB Commodore. And there's a bit of a gap back to Travis Daly, who leads the pack away from Michael Quain, Vaughan McKee and Andrew Cowan. Your average sim racer now right on the back of Lorne. Thanks for joining us as well, Jamie Davis. I think I said that earlier. Leakey's in as well. He said he thinks Quain is actually South Oz, so over from South Australia. Thanks for letting us know, Leakey. I hope you're doing all right, mate. My mate Jack as well, all the way from America, dropping into the broadcast today. Lorne now right on the back of Michael Quain.
Really interesting to see the spread where cars are fast and where they feel the drivers feel more confident. We saw Cowie was looking up the inside using a little bit of slipstream help down the main straight and just got a little bit too far to the right, too much on the inside of the corner, and it sort of made him have to turn harder after the apex. As we saw, Lorne took a much wider entry into turn one. And now Lorne's just found a little bit of pace through the mid-sector of the lap, but just falls back off the back of Quain, back into the hands of Andrew Cowan. So Cowan here will be looking to use the slipstream again as best he can. Time should start to come down as we jump back to another one of those Accelerate cars under attack from Petar Pavlovic, who gets really good drive off the last corner. Can't quite get his nose up far enough, just decides to pull back in. No point trying to send a move up the inside when you've still got another 47 minutes of racing to go. Just got to be careful though, because Troy Sipple, we know he's fast. He's just going to sit up behind, try and see if he can't get a move done, seal the line. So Pavlovic drops down low.
Oh, what's happened there? Caparonis is just, I think maybe you had a slowdown. Mark Horton went flying past him, and you just see how quick Pavlovic actually just caught up with Sipple and White on his tail as well. A few guys have taken the opportunity for some early pits, so Kennedy, Crosby, Healy, Hansen all run a pit run. I don't know if that's to do with damage earlier. There is a car around. Not sure who that was. The replay had a bit of a skip on me there. Somebody definitely went around. I do believe it was Dan Micro. Spun it into the wall. Do we have another safety car? We actually do. I think that might be to do with Dan Micro's incident. Do have another safety car. The replay got a little bit glitchy there. We could see that JTIT race on Oz car turned around. Not too sure what's happened. May have been a self-spin. I'd say that collection with the wall has damaged his engine. With such a busy track, needs to get it towed. So
quite a few drivers taking this opportunity now whilst under safety car to take a quick pit stop. Mark Peck, Troy Sipple, Scott Weston, Jamie Davis, Bruce White, Mick Clifton. So a couple of Quantum Pecky's cars all diving into the pit lane.
I don't know if I got time to make another coffee.
Wait 45 minutes, Shibby. Wait 45 minutes.
That's a long time to wait, man. I've only had one coffee this morning. It's weird.
Oh, didn't.
I know. I don't know whose idea this was to get up early Tuesday morning and do a broadcast. Gosh.
Mate, well, we got to get through 2 today. And then you've got to do another one tonight.
Yeah, 3 broadcasts in one
Plus
day.
whatever else goes on in family and whatnot.
Yeah,
and then I've got a race as well. And then I'm racing tonight as well. So, you know.
I tell you what, if you guys missed me round 1 because I wasn't able to do any of the broadcasts, well, you're getting 3 doses of me today. So get ready for it. This is round 1 of the Simrix V8 Supercars AM Series for Season 4 of 2023. After this broadcast, we will be taking a short break and coming straight back for round 2 of the Simrix.com V8 Supercars AM Series. And tonight, we'll be coming live for the Shannon's Nationals GR86 Series. And what track are you racing at tonight, Tom?
Well, it was just done in NASCAR in the last, on the weekend. Charlotte Roval.
Oh, a bit of Roval in the 86s.
Bit of Roval action. I do not know how standing start's going to work.
Just like every time we've done a standing start on a banked corner.
In an 86, yeah, sure. I mean...
It doesn't bog down too bad, so...
The benefit is Charlotte isn't really that banked as a racetrack, especially on the start-finish line. It's reasonably flat. However, in saying that, it's got a big chicane in the middle of the front straight. So, knowing my luck, I'll start on the curb. So, you know, see what happens there. But,
well, the torque in
at
them's
least
not too bad, so I don't know if you're going to spin as bad as when we had the V8 Supercars there, because we nearly had a few cars do full 180s in the V8s.
I remember, was it season 2 maybe? And we did, what did we do? Daytona.
Yes, it was Daytona.
In Supercars AMS.
Yep.
And Daytona's worse because the banking is in the tri-oval, and it's not great. We've got a couple of wave rounds going on here. Just getting some drivers back towards, I'll run around towards the back of the pack again, get themselves back onto, or get a lap back. So it keeps them in the action for the next, what have we got? 42 minutes of racing left to go. But yeah, the calendar this season is great. Whilst we've got the chance, I'll just bring up the calendar.
Talking about the 86s or the V8s?
The V8 calendar. V8 calendar. So obviously we're at Zandvoort for round 1, and then we'll be going to Long Beach, and you'll see that broadcast as ShiBBy keeps plugging. After a short little break today, I did see a little bit of what happened at Long Beach and Long Beach and Hairpin. Long Beach and Hairpin is interesting to say the least. And then we're off to Bathurst for an enduro round next week, which should be absolutely wonderful.
And I got to add in there our first top 10 shootout of the season as well.
Yes. And then we go to Homestead, Miami. So throwing in a couple of Rovals this season. Then Sandown. I mean, what more can you say about that? Nürburgring GP. Of course, we had a great race at Nürburgring a couple of seasons ago. So that should be good. Road America for another enduro with a top 10 shootout there. The Miami Road course is a super sprint round, which should be very interesting. 3 20-minute races. Great race format. Road America, as I said, for round 7. Road Atlanta then for round 8, which I've done a bit of supercars racing around Road Atlanta, and it is quite a lot of fun. I think I might have had tyre smoke fumes though, which is just because of how much locking up there is, especially at the top of the hill through the quick right hand before you make the run back down. And then we finished the season at a track that I'm very, very glad to see on the calendar in the Chicago Street Course. Of course, we saw what SVG can do in a NASCAR there in July this year. And I'm very much keen to see how these drivers take on the street course at Chicago. Lots of 90 lefts and 90 rights.
Leakey's just chimed in, mate, and I think he's actually right. I do believe that the 86s were set for rolling start this season.
Okay, well, from what I saw in round one, it was a
standing start.
No, it was a rolling start. You're right.
Yeah,
It was
that's
a
what I
rolling
thought,
start.
because we're
But never
following
mind.
how the officials race as well. Like, we want to flow that through, which I honestly think it makes sense with the 86s. They don't really have the torque and the power to get up off the line, so rolling starts in 86s, so you shouldn't have a big issue with sliding off the track on a standing start.
Yeah, but I'll just have chaos standing in turn one in a rolling start.
Well, mate, qualify first, and then you won't have to worry about it.
Oh, of course, Shibby. Yeah, absolutely. I won't overdrive the car like I seem to always do in an 86. I seem to not think, they don't have a lot of power. Tyre temperature doesn't matter.
Nah, yeah.
That's a lie.
Light rear end, it'll grip fine, I'm sure.
Yeah. It'll pick up and, yeah, we'll be right.
You ever thought about throwing just a 20-kilo bag of concrete in the back of the 86 just to put some more downforce on that rear tyre?
I mean, what about a massive rear wing? What about if we just transplanted the BMW rear wing onto the 86? It'd be great.
Heck yeah. Why not
It'd be
throw
great.
the
I might not be
engine
able
in
to
at the
turn
same
into
time?
corners, but at least I'll have a grippy rear.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Leaky says it's chaos anytime. Hey, Leaky, you out here tonight? I think he was, wasn't he? We got Greggy Johnston. Oh, he is. Leaky, how
There
are
he is
you
in
out
21st.
there? Yeah, how are you out there racing out in chat, mate? Focus
It's
on the race.
a safety car, mate. It's a safety
yeah,
car.
that's right, yeah. And Sheefy's just joined in as well. Let's go, Sheefy, mate. You guys need to focus on the race. Keep your eyes
Tyson,
peeled.
get out there and do your there and do your safety car
Yeah,
roll.
he's bloody driving.
Now he's in chat here. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
There's a championship on the line, guys. This is round one. Stop playing around. Getting you some nice shots there, Leaky, for the Yarra Rangers. Oh, Tyson is into the pits. The restart has been handed over to Joe Marnie for a second time. And he has gone at the exact same time he did. Didn't get as great a start as last time. Liam tipping still heavily on his back to Bono and Travis Daly. Trying to make a bit of movement as we look back in the field. Andrew Cowan down the inside there. Will he squeeze it through? He won't. He's going to have to drop back in behind Mark. A lot of action.
He's got his teammate behind him, though, so that'll work a little bit to his favour, having reached to Goey. And then nicely. Oh! Oh, no. That's Caperonis, who has exited stage left. Just going slowly at the back of the pack. He cranked into a bit of wheel spin and then went at a tank slapper going on like you would not believe. Oh, he's bodied. Chaos in the background.
Oh, Leaky! Told you to focus on the race,
Oh, a bit of
mate.
blinking. Oh, no. Who's the 021? Someone has made contact and he's into the wall.
That Pavlovich hitting the wall.
No, it was a... Oh, it was Todd Martin, 071.
071. I was really confused then. I couldn't find a 021. Got some good battles starting to heat up. Another car is around. Sean Smith. A lot of new drivers starting to get used to this car. Another car off the corner there.
That Bruce White, I think it is.
Yeah, you're correct. It was. Lots and lots of battles across the field at the moment.
LMR Esports have had a team change. Is it Dynamic Team Sports or something now, I think? They've changed their name and their colours.
They have. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's not LMR Esports anymore. I had Jet tell me, now I can't bloody remember.
want to say it's dynamic or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it. I can't get a close enough shot here.
In saying that, if any drivers are watching this stream, which I know there are quite a few, I'll put a post in the open chat in SRW to just highlight. If you want the details on the broadcast to be as accurate as possible, including team names, please download the driver information software from SDK Gaming. That way, all the information that we get will be up to date and correct. Lots of new names, lots of new faces.
Move on Petar Pavlovich here. Just spins the wheels a little bit on that exit. Petar got a really nice grip up.
Petar just had the drive off the corner too.
Yeah, really
Looked
nice
like Matt was
drive.
trying to set up for the crisscross, the over-under off the corner.
Quain has just
Look at
dropped
Quain and
2
McKee.
positions there. He was sitting behind Dooley.
It's the no rear wing.
It is, you're right, yep.
He's driving a V8 powered 86 now.
Yeah. I suppose they are coupes, aren't they? Both of them. Jump back up to the front to see Joe, Marnie and Liam Tipping, the 2 drivers from the JTIT Race on Oz team. Dylan De Bono now right on the back of them. This is going to be interesting. It's hard enough to overtake one car, let alone 2 cars on the same team that are working together. Bruce White is in a battle with Stephen Kennedy from the M1 Racing team. Hey, that's a different livery to the other M1 Racing. I wonder if there's 2 teams called M1 Racing. That'll be interesting.
Would just be iterations of liveries or anything like that. This was the same one as what we saw last season. No, that's a line.
There, yep.
That's a line. Watch the drive. Look at the drive off the corner.
From the angle
So
of
that's
the
what I
camera,
was saying.
that
That,
weird.
yeah, so that's what I was saying. That the lines through turn 4. Oh, a bit of chaos going on here. Is that Pavlovich and Mark Horton getting involved?
Yep, Pavlovich just up the inside, cops a little bit of a bump on Mark Horton. Spins him Dooley now, and Vanderkran. Dooley has managed to get around Vanderkran, puts himself up into P4. Scotty Rattler Van Loon has joined us in the broadcast as well. He says he has his laptop on the passenger seat working on a draft contract. That's the way, mate. Like he says, he's dropped his phone and that's what caused him to spin. Jump back to Mr. Andrew Cowan, slowly starting to catch the back of Scotty Rattler Van Loon. Lots of close battles. We look back. John Gallen is trying to make a move on Brett Taylor. I actually think Gallen has got the move done. And that's put himself up into P14. Petar Pavlovich right on the back of Taylor as well. Just up in front of Cowan, we've got Vanderkran and Dooley and Davis going at it as well. Tyler Sheep has moved himself up 7 spots into P17. Pavlovich makes the move around Taylor, putting himself into P15. Crosby now back in P27, battling it out with Brandon Van Ryn, I'm going to say. New driver to the league for the Bean Boss Blue Beast. See what Crosby can do here for the M1 Racing team. These guys were very, very dominant last season. Rattler now. So Cowie's just got around Rattler, but that's brought Muller and Whittaker right onto the back. Cowie's going to have to use this time to try and pull away from this group.
A couple of safety cars in this race already. So, the run from Scotty Rattler Van Loon. See a couple of different lines you can take here. Takes it very close to the pit wall just to get up the inside. Running side by side with Cowan. Through turn 3. Very close indeed.
Oh, a bit of a lock up from that
Little
rear
lock up.
left.
It's pretty safe though. Given the amount of line through that corner. Rearward from Cowan now on the run down. The hill is fast right-hander. Up to Masters now. With a hairpin at turn 9. A little bit of damage on that PSR car.
Same as that
I say a little
Pecky's
bit.
as well.
Yeah, Pecky's got a lot of side damage.
Great battle here. This is actually a battle for P10. Cowie's sitting in provisional P10 right now. The Rattler, Mullen, Whittaker, and it's also bringing John Gallen into the battle here. We could have a solid battle to find out who finishes in the top 10. There's just battles going all over the field. This is a phenomenal show here. I was going to say tonight because I'm used to saying tonight, but phenomenal show here today of all our AMS drivers for round 1. Massive shout out. Oh, has Cowie just not got a great run out of that corner. And Van Loon has stuck himself up the inside, which is going to now turn to the outside.
Did he get the drive off the corner?
Oh,
Oh,
huge.
no.
Oh, and takes out the Pacific Esports car. Nope, somehow that Pacific Esports car scathed away with that by the skin of his teeth.
Lots of damage on Scotty Rattler's car, though.
No smoke, so it still will be able to continue. Going to take a move on Gallen there, unless Gallen has just actually redressed Bruce White on the back of the Velocity SimLab car of Tyler Sheaf. Up the front, we've got a battle going on for P7. Vaughan McKee has really shut that gap down onto DeGoey, sorry.
Pushes him through the corner. It's going to open up the opportunity for Quain, though. Quain just on the outside, won't be able to get the move done there. Bit of rubbings racing from these lads. I was just before a couple of laps ago. Oh, we got a car round. It's an auto serve sponsored car round at the exit of the last corner.
Josh D. King, I believe. Yeah, it is, mate.
Couple of drivers ducking in the pit lane here.
Joshua King is around.
Everyone expecting maybe a safety car. Oh, no.
Huge contact round the final chicane there. Sorry, chicane, the burn. That is Andrew Cowan and the new M1 driver. Car 64. Ty Byrne. That was a massive incident that could have turned out a lot worse. Just a second, the replay is just having a bit of a hissy fit. We are back. Tyson is back out of the pits again, so this could be our third safety car of the night, and that may have been to do with either Joshua King stopped on that final berm or the incident that caused that flying 2 cars to come into the pits sideways.
Oh. This driver's getting caught up behind the safety car there.
Oh, and because of the safety car, that has closed pit lane. Right at
So those drivers who are lucky to duck into pits at the time should be able to make some good gains out of it, but yeah.
But the other drivers that were timing their pit stops, this is right in that time where a lot of drivers would have been looking to come in, get their first official pit stop. going to be interesting. So it wouldn't surprise me that as soon as pit lane opens that we might see a few of these front runners have to make their stop.
That's definitely not ideal for these drivers to have pit entry closed. Really undoes a lot of hard work. So we saw what happened at pit lane entry there. Some drivers trying to duck into pit lane and using the opportunity that they had with potential for a safety car. They saw it, they knew it was time to duck into pits and got in before pit lane entry closed. Hopefully that pit lane entry is open now so these drivers can duck in.
Now do I have time to make a coffee? I'm a sucker for coffee. Anybody else there a sucker for coffee? You got yourself a nice machine at home where you buy your beans and you grind them fresh every morning. It's the only way to do it. Only way to do it. Also, I'd like some feedback of what you guys thought about Bathurst. Let us know. I've heard of. I didn't get the chance to watch it. It's sort of hard when you got a 4-year-old daughter that controls what's on the TV. I didn't get to watch much, but from what I've heard, it wasn't the most exciting Bathurst that we've ever seen.
No. And I'm a nuffy for supercars.
There
so
it is.
Everyone ducking into pit lane now.
Yep. Massive run. All the front runners straight into the pits. Gosh, this is a lot of cars. Man, I am excited for this season. This is the most cars. It is so good to see the support from the drivers and, of course, all you guys out there watching the broadcasts. Leaky said white and 2.
Oh, here we go. So because pit exit's closed.
Can they pull out?
I have to wait for pit exit to open again. Drivers fighting for track position here.
Now I'd like to see iRacing implement. Turn the ghosting off in pit lanes to see how people handle it.
Well, in the fast lane, it's I'm pretty sure it's enabled, isn't it? Isn't ghosting like disabled in the fast lane? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But it'd be interesting to see if there was collisions collisions enabled during pit stops where people would actually have to be cautious. But I have noticed a lot of the pit lanes aren't big enough to hold 40, 50 cars, so you do get a few cars pulling into the same pit bays. Sheefy says he's got a coffee machine, but he's still never used it. Mate, get yourself some beans, a nice grinder. Definitely worth it. Nikki says white and 2. Mate, I only put sugar in instant coffee if it's real coffee. And not happening. Interesting that in the supercars, they left the pit entry open with Moffat stuck in the lane.
That was the last bit of chaos that happened in that race,
So
and that was on like lap 50.
Pit chaos. That's how it is. So it's just pit chaos. That's it.
Yeah, it's it was a bit unfortunate to have Moffat end up in the wall at the dipper, but it was pretty comical to see everyone trying to get down around him at pit entry. I'm surprised they didn't close pit entry there, but I suppose there is enough there was just enough space for you to get around, albeit off track. You got to get around through there. So we got Bruce White, who's ducked into the pit there. Marty Hansen also. So it's a Pecky's 1, 2, and 3 on track at the moment.
So,
The wave rounds now.
Dan Merckx has just dropped in. He's got a picture of, it's like Brandon Lee from The Crow. That was exciting, getting my first wave around. I'm assuming, mate, that you being Dan Merckx, you are Dan Mike Mirko in the chat, in the race, mate, for JTIT. Thank you for joining us today, buddy. Always appreciate all the support here on the broadcast. Keeping an eye on Tyson. Gosh, that sun is looking amazing over the city there. What happens if a car runs out of fuel because pit entry is shut? It's racing. That's probably my best answer. Any incidents are going to happen. Safety cars can be called at any time due to any reasons. So I suppose that's a tough one, mate. To me, it's just racing, right? Is that how would you see it, Tom? Yeah, and Chiefy said they'd have to request the tow. So
it's kind of just, yeah, it's racing. It's not. I agree, it's not ideal to have to close pit entry, but look, we've seen it time and time again in F1. Like if you remember back to Monza, what was that, 2020? And there was the Haas of, I think Kevin Magnussen was stopped on the right-hand side just after the pit entry blend line at Monza. And they closed pit entry and Lewis Hamilton went in to pit entry and then had to serve a stop and hold 15-second penalty or something in the race because he entered a closed pits. It's all down to safety. Obviously, there's no real argument for safety here in a virtual world, but a little bit of realism, I think, goes a long way in providing a great experience for all these drivers. We are going to get a start here, and it will be Troy Sipple leading them off the line. He's got a Pecky's 1, 2, 3, and 5 here to deal with. So he has gone nice and early, gets a good jump. Mark Peck will follow him, and then it's Scott Perrins under attack from Mark Whittaker. Matt, from a fishy car in Whittaker there as they go through turn 1. Perrins just sidesteps to let Whittaker through. Whittaker, I'm sure, will have all the pace given the team that he's from. Drivers just coming to grips with their tyre life now.
Leaky says like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Thank you so much, Leaky. Sylvia says, why is the BMW M3 GT3 the safety car LMAO? I just say, why not? What would you like it to be? Do you want it to be an F3 car or an LMP DH, something? I don't know. I think the BMW M3 is a beautiful car.
I think a GT4 would look great.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters what safety cars out there.
No. Oh, we got a Peggy's car.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
What has happened?
Didn't get any event recording to find out that there is a heck of a battle going on.
It's chaos further back in the pack now as well, in behind this. Everyone checking up. Oh, tipping, just getting bodied. And Ty Byrne there. 15 minutes of this race left and a winner is still out there for the taking. Byrne's going to look for a move here on Peck, and Tipping's going to try and get up the inside. A little bit of bumper car stuff going on at the mid-corner. Dylan DeBono trying to get himself involved as well. These are all the drivers who are leading the race and got held up in that closed pit entry. Tipping goes around the outside on one of the M1 cars, leaves him absolutely no space at all, and gets that move done. Putting his car on the outside, just tightened up Ty Burton's line. That's the power of that outside line at turn 4. Hugenholtz. Oh, a bit of a tank slapper there for the 92. And we've got a car who's ended up in the fence.
Leaky again. No mistake of his own there, I do believe. A lot of action.
Another car going slow at the back. One of the Accelerate cars. Just getting up to speed again now. M1 racing cars fairway down the order compared to where they'd like to be in Crosby and Kennedy.
Not sure. I think the car's going around. Hello?
Cowan here, ducking into pit lane. I wonder if this is a drive-through penalty potentially.
We can
Andrew Cowan was black flagged. So, we're just having to serve a drive-through here.
Oh my gosh. The GMK logistics car there holding on for dear life.
Dylan De Bono, watch this move. Watch the move. Oh. The amount of speed he can carry around turn 4.
And Merckx has asked, is it illegal to wait at pit entry until it's open, provided it's not on the racing line? Mate, take that question to our race stewards in Discord, mate. We can give you an idea of what we feel, but it's not going to be the correct answer. So the easiest way is to reach out to our race stewards. They will be able to assist you. Greggy Barber or, of course, Mr. Tyson McAvoy. They will be able to give you all the information you need and clarify any questions about our rules that are all outlined for each series in the Discord. Craig Healy, great display of racing tonight, up 16 spots. Marty Mitchell as well, up 16 spots. Mate, I just realised too, we're going to have to pick a driver of the day. And I think we're going to need the support from our viewers.
Hey, look, at the moment I'm just looking at positions gained. Matt Whitaker's up 23 spots.
Yeah, try not. It's so hard because the podium already gets their praise and appreciation.
Well, okay, so the next biggest climb off the podium is Todd Martin, up 22 at the moment.
If he sits there the rest of the race.
He's under attack here from Liam Tipping. Joe Marnie's been involved in an incident, and I think it might have been at turn 4, so he's dropped a fair way down the order. He's down in 36th place now. So our pole sitter, unfortunately, I think that might have been where Dylan De Bono made that incredible move that I was so eager to highlight. Oh, big dive. Big setup there. Tipping set him up, looked like he was going to go to the outside, and then just got under the rear wing of Todd Martin and put himself on the inside for turn 10.
Bono still up in that top 10. He was caught up in that the safety car stoppages where he had to re-pit straight after the safety car had let go. Managed to get himself right up into that top 10 again. Fantastic drive. Scotty Van Loon said, better than a Ford dual cab. So I think that was when we were talking about the safety car.
True. Better than the Ford Ranger Raptor safety, the BP Ultimate Ranger Raptor safety car, or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah, I like the sound of the promo department safety car a bit better. Travis Daly for Performance Sim Racing has just set the fastest lap of the session with a 1:35.33.
Doesn't have that much clear air either. Like, he's still up behind Gallon, so
He's got
that pace is
1.5 second gap.
it's a little bit of clear air, but not a huge amount. It's not like he's leading at the front like Troy Sipple at the moment.
Yeah, he's off and gone, isn't he?
Now, the only thing I will say is that Troy Sipple pitted on lap 7
Oh, and hasn't pit since.
and has not pit since.
That's interesting. So I'm going to say he's going to pit next time around. As we see Bruce just move to the side and let Lorne through. See the pace on Lorne coming through. Definitely a pretty quick driver. In all honesty, all the AMs have put on a great show here today. Sure. Whichever one works for you guys.
It's an interesting one. Well, from Petar Pavlovich in chat, John Gallen had a pit lane start as he dropped out and missed the start, and he's up at the moment in 3rd.
Wow.
So him making up 14 places isn't accurate. He's actually made up almost
He would have got
36 spots.
He probably would have been allowed a wave around in one of those first incidents if he dropped a lap. So that's really interesting as we see Dan Micro, Bruce White and Andrew Cowan all battling it out here for P18. We have 8 minutes left to go here for round 1 of the simrigs.com V8 Supercars here for season 4 of 2023 on SRW. You can't pick yourselves, lads, for driver of the day. You guys were out there on track. Give us some recommendations, because I can see this season it becoming very, very hard to start picking drivers of the day, and we may just have to go off places gained. Speaking of places gained, Dan Micro has just made a move on Bruce White. Now White getting harassed by Kennedy. Hanson's also there, as well as Taylor, all trying to fight for the last spot in the top 20. Plenty of points to be offered with the re-change of how the point structure was done this season due to the larger grids. Ricky Johnston, Team Greg, getting that move done there, and Marty Mitchell up 15 spots. Jump back to the front. Oh, there we go. I was right. Tipping was in the pits last lap. That has put Matt Whittaker, Sipple, sorry. He did pull into the pits. I've nailed that right on the head. Fishy Motorsports of Matt Whittaker is now in P1 with John Gallen for Pelican Esports Racing.
Pelican Esports, Pacific Esports Racing. What? Oh, the Pelican on the back, radio.
Lakes Edge, yeah.
Radio.
Look at the big battle. Oh my gosh. Crosby, not Crosby, the front of Muller there, so close to the rear quarter panel of Weston through that corner. This is the battle for P10. After that first lap. Again,
What's
so
a nose
close.
up there? The performance sim racing driver just looking up the inside of the East West racing car. Needs to focus on getting a good run out of this corner so he can get up behind him through the banked corner. Just had to have a second grab of the throttle. You could hear that on the broadcast. Not quite getting the slipstream assistance that he needs. Won't quite be able to have a look. In turn 1, we've only got 5 minutes of racing left. It's the 777 car coming out of pit lane. Travis Daly.
It's like I just read your mind then.
You can carry so much mid-corner speed if you go high on the banking at turn 4. Very tight in this battle here. Muller not giving a whole lot of space to Scott Weston. He has managed to get that move done.
Couple of laps left here. We're round 1. 4 minutes left to go in this race. Let's see if Barney will be doing his job. Greg Taylor, Bruce White, Dan Micro, Mick Clifton and Troy Dooley all still trying to battle it out. Sipple holding that final spot in the top 20, just a bit further up the field. John Gallen trying to close the gap on Whittaker. Don't know if he's going to have enough time. He's got a second to gain. And anything could happen in these final 2 laps. The Bono starting to really put the pressure on Tipping now. Can De Bono snag himself a podium finish for the first round in our final laps? Gallen now, they're all starting to close down on Whittaker.
We've got to stay with this battle, Chivy.
Yep, we're going
No
to,
jumping.
mate. Don't you worry. You guys can watch the timing table to see how everybody else is going. You can see a lot of close battles for the final spot for P10 and the final spot for P20. But we will be staying on board with these final 4 as we head into our final laps.
So we know that Tipping and De Bono are both very, very quick. They've managed to make their way up towards the front. Whittaker has been leading for a little while now. Gallen has just been putting the pressure on just enough. Whittaker hasn't been able to run away with it. So Tipping now getting closer and closer. You can see it out of the front windscreen of Dylan De Bono's car.
We are going another lap. Barney was not out yet.
So we might actually have 2 potentially.
4 different teams. 2 different manufacturers, 2 Mustangs, 2 ZBs.
Oh, here we go.
The heat is picking up now.
So Whittaker looked like he just got a bit of a slow run out of turn 4. Gallen was a little bit tight as well. Tipping just got right up underneath Gallen. We're taking very different lines on the entry to that corner. Some going a little bit wider. De Bono just got a little bit of wheel spin then. Tipping will look up the inside of Gallen. Gallen will try and hold on to it on the exit. Not a whole lot of grip out that wide. And Tipping will get through. Although Gallen's going to come back at him. Going to look up the inside. No, Gallen decides to tuck back in. Discretion the better part of valor for Gallen then. So Tipping now will look to try and attack Whittaker with what should be 1 to go this time by.
What can De Bono do here? He has closed that gap. He has got a phenomenal run out of that final corner. White flag is out. This is the last lap. De Bono is going to get that move done on Gallen through turn 1. Now on the back of Tipping, but can he hold off Gallen for this final lap? Whittaker making a push. Every time I see them take that line on that corner makes me think they're going off track.
De Bono gets a good run. Good acceleration out of that corner by going high. Looks to try and carry some speed through. Looks to try and get the corner absolutely bang on here. Tipping. Going to have a look at Whittaker at some stage, potentially into turn 10.
Lapped car in front of us as well.
Turn 9 here. De Bono very close. Tipping, going to try and get pushed through the corner. De Bono just has to catch a bit of wheel spin.
Wasn't enough for Gallen to make a move, but he is right on his rear now.
De Bono will look to try and cover off the line. He does go defensive. Whittaker and Tipping now. 2 corners to go. Whittaker goes narrow on the entry. Tipping decides to get up the inside. Tipping will make a run to the final corner. We'll go side by side. Tipping's just got his nose in front. Whittaker's coming back. But Whittaker won't come back enough. The margin, 0.02 of a second at the finish.
Wow, oh wow. Who would have thought round 1 would have such a close finish between the top 4? What a phenomenal race. Liam Tipping for JTIT Race on Oz will take round 1 win from the last corner. Matt Whittaker for Fishy Motorsports, phenomenal drive by him, will take himself out P2. And Dylan De Bono for Velocity Sim Sports will take out P3. What an outstanding turnout and race here for the SimRings V8 Supercars AM Series. Now I'm excited to get to round 2. We don't have to spend too much time waiting for our drivers. As this is a replay file, our awesome race director Tyson McAvoy was able to grab the lads on the night and get a pre-recording for us.
Podium interviews. So
yeah, for our podium interviews.
So Tipping, Whittaker and De Bono will be up there. Saw De Bono with a lot of the race there without a front bumper, but the final results from tonight, Liam Tipping just holds on by 0.02 of a second over Matt Whittaker for Fishy Motorsports. Dylan De Bono takes home P3 after a very, very tight battle with John Gallen. Those top 4 separated by less than a second, which sets the tone for the next 8 more rounds we've got to go in this series. Ty Byrne comes home in P5. Peter Vanderkrant for Angry Birds Racing in P6. Jamie Davis, Sean Nazazka, Craig Healy and Lorne McKee ran at the top 10. Mitchell Mullett, Darren Crosby in the 66 M1 racing car. Troy Sipple, Scott Weston, Marty Hanson, Dan Mirko. Jim Caparonis, Bruce White, Andrew Cowan and Tyler Sheaf in 20th. As we look further afield, in 21st was Greg Johnston for Team Greg Racing. Stephen Kennedy, Marty Mitchell, Troy Dooley, Mick Clifton, Brendan Van Ryn, Peter Pavlovich, Joe Marnie. Story that could have been a lot better for him, finishing down in 28th position. Greg Leake, Mark Peck in 30th. And we got Brett Taylor, Mark Horden, Michael Quain, Simon Haynes, Reece DeGoey, Scott Perrins, Todd Martin, Scotty Rattler and Joshua D. King round out the 40 cars that finished the race tonight. But I can tell you who my driver of the day is. If the pit lane start is correct, then John Gallen has done a fantastic job to get himself into P4 in the end. It'll only say 13 positions gained, but it really ends up being more like 36 positions gained. So that's an outstanding performance, John. Well done. If it means anything, you're my driver of the day. ShiBBy, who's yours?
Mate, look, honestly, I'm going to second that. How can we not? In all honesty, I've said this before, there's so many drivers that I would love to throw out and give driver of the day. In most cases, like, huge shout out to all the drivers that turn up every week and get out there, race, have fun, and allow us to put on this awesome broadcast. So, in my heart, they're all my drivers of the day. But yes, we will lock that in as John Gallen is going to be the driver of the day for round 1. So congratulations to the Pelicans Performance Racing team. No, Pelicans Esports Racing, sorry. But yes, we do have a pre-recorded interviews of our podium, which we will run now for you. So you will get to listen to our race director, Tyson McAvoy, go through all of our interviews. So bear with us while we jump on over to that. And once that's done, we will be back with you to end out this broadcast. And then, of course, don't stay with us. Hit that notification bell, because after a quick break, something to eat and possibly a coffee, Tom and I will be back for round 2 of our V8 Supercars AM series.
Alrighty, hello, Tyson here from Race Control, and what a fantastic round 1 opener we had to season 4 of SRW AM series here on a Tuesday night. We had some technical difficulties tonight, so unfortunately you got the post-race interviews with myself. Just gonna get Dylan in here first. He's our podium finisher, P3, and he had a fantastic race. So we'll pull up Dylan and have a couple of questions for him and see how he thought his opening round went. So, g'day Dylan. Congratulations on your P3, mate. That looked like a tough race. You had 13 incidents total during the race, but a missing hood at some stages during the race. In the restart, you're always up the front having a battle. What do you think of it?
Oh man, it was a good race to start off the year. You know, finished up clean. Got through the pack after that safety car restart. And yeah, just happy to come away P3 with a track like that. With that many cars, you know, it's a good start to the championship. Yeah,
well, Zandvoort just been rescanned. It's a new layout. I've never driven on this layout, you know, so jumping in the safety car for the first time, had no idea what I was doing. And I can imagine you guys coming here with a new layout and, you know, definitely putting the laps in to earn the right to be up the front. And as you said, coming home with a P3, you should be stoked with that. Good opening for the championship and some good bag of points there after a few tussles and turns with some cars during the race coming through the pack, as you said.
Yeah, it was a great start. Hopefully we continue on the run for the rest of the series and we finish somewhere up the top.
Yeah, that's good. Where did you finish last season in the championship?
This is probably my first series, first series.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to having you here, and definitely congratulations on the podium, mate. Unfortunately, my screenshot of your car at the moment has got Channel 9, so apologies for that, guys. It's not the car he runs. He does run his own paint, but for some reason on my side it doesn't show it. But for the ones who can't see it, just give us a shout out of your quick sponsors, mate.
Thanks to Velocity Sim Labs, Original Digital Design, Hito Race, and Velocity Speedhouse, and Pettis Suspension. Excellent. And you guys for putting this stream up.
Not a problem, man. It's our pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you next week, mate. Good luck for the season.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, excellent. That's Dylan on a fantastic P3 there for round number 1. It was a 60-minute race, and yeah, he definitely rode out the horse and pushed hard. Then we got Matt next. If I can get him to stand by, I'll get a nice shot of his car up on the stream in a second. So we got onboard shots. He's going to pull it out and goes in slow motion for us. So here we go. It's a fishy motorsport car. So I'll bring Matt up here now. Congratulations, Matt, on the P2. What a fantastic race, mate. 6 incidents during the race and a bloody tight finish there. So just give us a quick rundown on how the opening round went for you.
Yeah, it was good fun. I jumped into the session last minute. Greg Barber got my invite sent back to me that I'd been away, so sort of missed the accepting it and bought the track and jumped in with about 20 minutes practice of never turning a lap, so it was a bit of a rush. So yeah, spent a bit of the race just following everyone, sort of trying to pick the breaker markers and stuff like that. So
Well, it's a pretty good job if you just bought the track and jumped into this crazy
Awesome.
death trap. As I said
Mate,
to
I wasn't
Dylan,
expecting that at all.
I
so,
had no idea
yeah,
about this track was even updated until tonight. Had the jump in and, you know, the amount of cars we had, you know, used to finish P2, no practice, 20 minutes. It's just like Jamie Dyke all over.
Been following him too much.
Well,
That was good fun.
congratulations, man, on the P2. And if you want to just thank a few of your sponsors and give a shout out to the boys.
Yeah, hang on, I should pull that up here. I'm going to get left over the rest of this. Thank West End Motor Group, Precision Sim Training, Battery Warehouse, Early Beach, DC Shades, and Infinity Designs.
Excellent. Thanks again, Matt. That was an awesome opening round, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it, mate. It was good fun. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, bro. Thank you.
Awesome.
And that's Matt. For 20 minutes practice, comes up, rocks up P2. A big kudos to him. Now we got Liam, our race winner, and I'm just going to grab him up here in a second. Once I grab some footage of his car. You don't want him leaving the pit lane, it's a bit boring. There we go, we got Liam. Car 78. Car 78, our race winner. Liam, mate, that was awesome. A chaotic race, heaps of safety cars, carnage is everywhere. 4 incident points as well, so well done to that. What'd you think of the race?
That was, stressful. There's heaps going on. Like, I think I kind of lost count of how many times I kind of, nearly had an accident. There was a couple of times you come around a corner and there's just a car parked there. It was like, that was a bit scary, but no, that last like 5 laps or so, that was really sick. Like, I literally don't even know how much I won by. Like, I was just fingers crossed going down the straight then.
Well, yeah, it was a close race, as you said. Like, the line was to the line at 0.019 to P2, so that was really close. And we might pull it up on the stream here just to show everybody, even though you'll see it on the broadcast, but we'll bring it up anyway, of how close the finish was, because it was very tight. If I can fast forward to it. Excuse my poor editing skills, viewers. But when you got an intense race and a good finish, I'm on the wrong lap. That might help.
Yeah, I reckon you had enough going on in race control, to be fair.
Yeah, race control tonight was a bit carnage, but hey, that's the challenge we accept. And I definitely enjoyed my part in having a new guy in there as well. Training him as a backup was a bit tight, but enough about us, man. That was, again, as you said, a tight race. It come down to the last couple of corners, and you got 3 cars behind you fighting for the win. You know, one mistake could turn you into the fence, but you finished quite strong. So a big kudos to you for the opening round.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Like, I don't know, the car felt really good after that last stop, and like I knew I was catching the guys in front, but I was kind of just happy to sit in third because I knew I think it was Travis had a penalty, and then we caught up those top 2 cars, and even coming in like the last sector of the last lap, Matt was doing a pretty good job of like defending, so I was like, oh, like P2 is probably going to be it, and then I just got like a really solid drive out of that second last corner, and it was really sick.
And we can see Demono and yourself trying to, find any gap to get through, and then he gets a bit squealy, goes to the dive, he blocks, and you're going down the inside, and there's no room. But it was awesome to watch. I didn't get to watch the last couple of laps, but watching it here on this replay, it's definitely looked like an intense battle and a well-deserved win for sure to start off your campaign for the SRW Amatures.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Like, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that one. The safety cars made fuel interesting. Like, after the second one, we were kind of like not sure if it'd be 1 or 2 stops, and then that third one came out. So it was just everyone was just flat out till the end after that, and cutting through those guys that managed to pit just before the pit closed. That was that made it very interesting.
Yeah, that threw a spanner into the works. We had a car off on the inside, and pit lane was closed, and some guys got in before it was closed, and made that strategy at the end there where you guys had to fight through. Very interesting, and I know it's going to be great to watch. So again, congratulations on the win. Excuse my poor interview, but if you got any sponsors or anybody you want to shout out your team, please go ahead.
Big shout out, JTRT, our main sponsor, Gutter Night, Analytical, and B&E Electrical and Solar. They're still supporting us after, I think this is like 3rd or 4th season in SRW now. And yeah, shout out to Joe and Dan. You know, they were really solid during the race. It's just a bit of a shame for Joe that he got tangled up in some of the carnage.
Yeah, that's right, man. And we look forward to seeing you next week for round 2, big action. I can't remember what track we're at next week, but we'll look at the calendar and definitely keep your eyes peeled, boys, because we're in for another one after that one for sure. So thanks again. Congratulations, Liam, and keep that running up.
Awesome. Cheers, bro.
Thank you. And that's the post-race interviews done for our round number 1 of the SRW AM series here at Zandvoort. A big shout out to all involved, the admin team, Greg Barber, race control, myself. A bit awkward to shout myself out, but a big shout out to Matty Jones. First time in, get thrown in the deep end and carries it well. He did a great job tonight. We got a few to look after afterwards, but again, a big shout out to them. And always at SRW, we've got great racing here. If you want to join us at any time, a lot of seats are filling up quick. Jump in, watch the broadcast, keep your eyes peeled for the Facebook Discord posts. We'll give you updates. From myself, Tyson, the race director, peace out. I head it back to the boys, and a big thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyson, for taking over the interviews live on the night for us. So there you go. That is the end of our round 1 here today for the simrigs.com V8 Supercars AM series. Liam tipping for JTIT Race on Oz P1, Matt Whittaker for Fishy Motorsports P2, and Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Sport will take out P3. Massive shout out to all the drivers who got out there tonight and put on this amazing show for us all. Huge shout out to all of you for coming along and joining us today. Massive show of support and numbers, even though I thought you'd all be at work or school. So thank you so much for joining us, as well as we definitely can't forget all our sponsors that have joined us for Season 4. Simrigs.com, we definitely couldn't do it without them. Racecraft, of course, as well. Thank you so much for jumping back on board for our qualifying sessions. Rare Spares, Shannon's Insurance, Warren and Brown Tools, Tempting Sweets, Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table. And we've got to give a huge shout out to our one new sponsor and a returning sponsor, Neuropower, and of course our friends over at DSL Rail Services. I have been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. The man in the box next to me has been Thomas Preach Riley. Stay tuned. Make sure you got those notifications on, because after a short lunch break, we will be back today with round 2 of our simrigs.com V8 Supercars AM series.